Hello to Zachary over there in Singapore. Yes, everyone just type in, yes, where you are and what time it is, everyone. Where you are and what time it is. I know I'm streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. Just waiting for a few channels to come up. Hello to Sarah Rose in the Philippines and Ola Cha. Hello to you over there. Just going to adjust this a little bit. Just got one channel not working. It looks like I'm about to come on YouTube. Just try to refresh my YouTube, everyone. Wow, lots of people in different locations. Hello to Joe in India, Fadi in Croatia. We have Dorota in Ireland. Welcome. And hello to Farah in Perth, Sumi in UAE, all different times. Ming here in Australia, Sally in Melbourne. Excellent. Hello to Wala Edin in Saudi Arabia. And I've got my channel working there in YouTube as well. So hello to Aisha, Joe, Anne, and all the people on the OET Center YouTube channel. All right, looks like we're all good to go, everyone. So look, we're broadcasting on multi-channels today. It's the first time. We're doing this as part of the OET Center All-Stars program. I'm very pleased to be part of that program, which is a great initiative from the OET Center to keep you guys connected. You know, during these times where it's difficult to attend face-to-face classes. So online is a great platform for that. So that's terrific that we could help you with that. Final adjustments for this. All right. Okay, everyone. So all over the world, we're here. Let's get started, everyone. I think you can see on your screen that we're going to do reading part C today. IM sends a message, how's Corona? Everybody stay safe. Yes, everybody stay safe. Online is a good place to stay safe. Okay, so as I said before, for those people just coming in, my name is Stephen McPhail. I'm the director of OET Online and of course one of the teachers. Okay, let's get going. We're going to do reading part C. That's our focus today. Now, as many of you will know, reading part C is one of the most academically challenging parts of the exam. And you're going to need good reading skills in order to get a good score. So that's my goal today, to help you improve your reading skills so you can make better choices. That's what we're going to try to do. So what is reading part C? Well, it contains two parts. There are two texts, and each text is 800 words long, and it assesses your ability to identify detailed meaning and opinion within those texts. You'll have about 36 minutes approximately to complete the two tasks. And if you do the math, that's around 2 minutes and 15 seconds per question. So that's sort of about the time that you've got. So you've got to work quickly and effectively, and you've got to have a good focus. It's multiple choice, as everybody knows. There are 8 questions per text and 4 multiple choice question options. And the question types are, there's opinion of the writer, and main idea of the paragraph, as well as vocabulary and phrase questions. Now, in terms of strategies, you've got to have a good approach, and you really need critical thinking skills. So if we just break that down for a moment, what you need to do is you need the skill of analysis. That means you've got to analyze both the text and the question type. So, not only do you have to understand what's written in the text, but very importantly, crucially, you've got to understand that question stem and the 4 choices, casting an analytical eye over it. That means you'll have your pen in your hand, you'll be underlining certain words. By underlining words, that's going to help you engage. That word engagement there, engage with the text. Make it real to yourself. Know what is being asked, and that's going to help you respond. So really analyzing, studying those questions, very, very important. And then in the middle there, we've got logical reasoning. That's using the gray matter in your head to deduce certain answers or to read between the lines, to identify underlying meaning. These are all elements of critical thinking, everyone. And we'll need to do a bit of that today. Now, in terms of method, there's a couple of different methods we can use. And one of them we call QTA. We'll probably primarily use that today. And that's called question, text, answer. So what does that mean? Well, it means read the question, but not the answer choices, just the question stem. Then read your text, right? That paragraph. Then go through your answers, ruling in and out each answer choice as you go. If we break that down into terms of time, I think you can allow, we said before, about 2 minutes and 15 seconds approximately per question. So that's going to allow about 15 seconds to read the question stem and underline the key words. Make sure you understand that question stem. Then you're going to look at your paragraph, and as you read your paragraph, you're going to underline certain words as you go. And as you're going to really try to make sure you understand the structure of the paragraph. You should be identifying complex sentences within the paragraph, contrast words such as however or therefore. All those transition words are going to help you. But, and, things which link, that will help you understand the flow of information. Once you've read that paragraph, then you're going to go through each answer choice, and you'll probably allow 1 minute to help you decide which answers are wrong and which answer is correct. So that's the strategy, everyone. Is that all clear so far? Any questions? All good? Are we ready to go? Let's do our first question, everyone. So we're going to do 2 texts today, everyone. Now, these texts, I should point out, these are OET Center texts. They've just been released by the OET Center, I believe, at the end of last week. So the source is the OET Center Practice Test 3. So you'll be able to view that after this session if you like. Now, what we're going to do today, we're going to go and just do certain sections of it. We're not going to do the whole text. It'll take too long. We're going to do 3 questions from the first text, allergic to eating, and then we're going to do 3 questions from the second text. That's what we're going to do. Okay, now let's do some vocabulary building. I want to get you guys thinking and a bit of interaction. So we're going to build a bit of vocabulary as we go. So these are questions to the audience. What does the word to stroll mean? Perhaps you're strolling along a beach, you're strolling along in a park. What does stroll mean? Can anyone answer that question? If you know the meaning of that, just type that in. While I'm waiting, George says, how can I stay focused on part C after part A and part B? I guess it's practice, George. But you need to stay focused. So breathing, concentrate. It's just 1 hour. Yep. Now we're getting answers. Yep. To take a walk, walk along at the right pace. Yep. What sort of pace? What sort of pace? Brisk or fast? Are you in a hurry? Walk around. Yeah, it can mean that. That's it. Okay. So I've got here to walk in a slow and relaxed way. So we're going to see that word, slow and relaxed. That's a stroll. Okay, second word, good medical word, to pass out. What does to pass out mean? To pass out. That'll be very common for the health professionals. Yep, getting lots of good answers coming through there. And while you're doing this, you can type in your answer for some of the others. To faint, says Tommy. Exactly, to faint. Not death. No, you don't die. Let's hope not. That's pass away is to die. Now this is pass out, not quite as serious. Collapse, faint, to be unconscious. That's right. And then with the help of the good health professionals, you can help those people. So to pass out. Okay, next one. Here's a bit of a challenging one. Gripped by pain. Gripped by pain. What would that mean if you were gripped by pain? Can you think of that meaning? To be gripped by pain. What feeling does that give you if you are gripped by pain? Welcome, Mohammed. It's severe pain. Yep. Yeah, very severe pain, isn't it? That's right. Intense pain, yes, because it's physically gripping you, everyone. You can see you're held in pain's grasp and it won't let go. So yes, Marcus says it's debilitated by pain. Good vocabulary. Throbbing pain. Yes, so it grips you. A lot of emotion attached with that word, a lot of feeling. And the last one, to turn a person's life upside down. To turn a person's life upside down. Excruciating. Well, good word, Kevin. Yes, excruciating pain. And the last one, to change someone's life completely. Yes, and we're all experiencing that now, everyone. We're all in the middle of COVID-19, and that's turning all our lives upside down. We can't do the things that we normally do. So to change someone's life completely, and it's often a negative way. So shocking or upsetting. And we've got an example. My world has been turned upside down by this disease. It's changed everything. All right, that's our vocabulary, everyone. Now let's go to our text. So this is our text. I'm not going to show you the questions yet, the answer choice, but I'll show you the question. So let's read the question, everyone. The case of Lucy Smith highlights the fact that food allergies. Okay, that's how, and then we're going to get the questions come up in a moment. What's the key word in that question, everyone? The case of Lucy Smith highlights the fact that food allergies. Now, sorry, Rahul, if the quality is not good. How's the quality for everyone? It could be your internet speed at your end. I'm hoping this is not too bad. I think my speed is good at the moment. If it's good quality, just type in GC, everyone, for good quality. Hope that's working for you. Yes, exactly, Starly. Highlight. I think highlight and allergies. But for me, the verb is probably the most important word. Highlight. So and highlight means to emphasize, doesn't it? If we highlight something, we emphasize it. Okay, a lot of people are saying good quality, so that's good. Maybe you need a bigger device, readable. We'll do our best, everyone. All right. Can't make that any bigger. I'll try. Let's just go back one. Okay. Okay, let's begin, everyone. I'm going to read this to you. So we want to know what the case highlights. Let's read it, everyone. We've got 1 minute. We'll set our timer. And I'll read the first one with you. Let's read it. Lucy Smith, I'll see if I can annotate this. Lucy Smith was strolling through Canberra last July. Within moments, she couldn't stand, gripped by pain so severe she feared she would pass out. The first sign was paralyzing diarrhea. Okay. This dramatic episode turned out to be caused by a newly acquired food allergy to red meat. Food allergies affect 1% of the adult population of Australia. Most don't hit with the same force as Lucy's, but the physical and mental impact can nonetheless turn a person's life upside down and may even be life-threatening. Lucy deduced that she was allergic to red meat, one of the less common allergenic foodstuffs. Only after several further attacks of varying severity was her suspicion eventually confirmed by a specialist. All right, everyone, that's the text. Now, let's get our answer. Just a moment. I'll just clear that, make that off. Okay. There's your choices, everyone. Is it A? I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. See if you can work it out yourself. Go. This is up to you. May be difficult to diagnose in certain people. Relatively rare in the adult population. Can cause debilitating symptoms. Often require urgent treatment. You're getting some answers coming in now. We've got some B's, we've got some A's, and we've got some C's. A lot of C's, okay. That's time's up. Time's up. All right, so let's look at our answers. So it's not A. I saw someone went A, may be difficult to diagnose in certain people. But look, it's actually a true answer. I think it may be difficult to diagnose in some people because it does say down the bottom, it mentions it took a while to confirm. So we could kind of get that little bit of a hint. Wasn't worked out straight away. It's implied, but that's not what the case highlights. That's not the highlight. B, a couple of people went for B, but we're going to rule out B because it does affect, it's true, it affects 1%, relatively rare. So 1%, I suppose we can say that's relatively rare. That's what Adrian went for, all right? But again, it's not what the case is trying to highlight. It's not trying to highlight the frequency or the rarity of the illness. Next one. D, a couple of people went for D, often require urgent treatment, but there's no mention. It is about how often a treatment might be required. So the answer, everyone, is C. Can cause debilitating symptoms. So there it is. And pay attention to the can. Whoops, just go back one. Can cause debilitating symptoms. That's an important word. And we got all those words in the beginning because this is to highlight. What does it highlight? It highlights how bad it can be, everyone. All right, CC, crystal clear. Does that make sense? I think a lot of you got that right. Well done. Well done, everyone. All right, let's go to the next one. A bit more vocabulary building. Okay, the immune system overreacting. The immune system overreacting. What's the immune system doing if it's overreacting? Good medical question for you guys. What's the immune system doing? Our body's if it overreacts, not a good thing. Yeah, hypersensitivity, thank you. An exaggerated response. Excellent, good. Hypersensitive, great. Oops. So reacting more strongly than it should, like this child. Yep. It will invade the body itself, yes. Okay, so the immune system overreacting, and we're on the subject of allergies here, everyone. That hypersensitivity. Okay, what's a benign, another medical word, a benign substance. What type of substance is benign? A substance which is benign, everyone. Now we're getting the medical words, systemic, yes. But yeah, a harmless substance, that's it. Something which is harmless, like that cat, hopefully. It's harmless, all right? So not dangerous. Okay, lastly, the word resemble. Resemble, everyone. What does resemble mean? Yep, can't spell. Lots of good medical answers there. Non-lethal, great responses, everyone. And yeah, looks similar, seems like these are great. Iman put same, not same, Iman. Not same. Bit different to similar. For example, look, to be similar, we got these images. Like these two guys look similar, but they're not the same. One has a mustache and one doesn't. Not quite alike. Abayagiri put look alike. No, looks similar. Not quite the same. Someone put replicate. Yeah, close, but not exactly the same. Okay, good. Let's do it. Okay, there's our text, everyone. We've got to read this. But let's read our question. What point is made about food intolerances? So the question here says, we'll just go back one. Oops. What point is made about food intolerance? So it's a main idea question. Well, it's not necessarily a main idea, but it's an opinion. It's an opinion. There's something specific about food intolerance. So we've got to watch out for a question like this. We've got to underline that word point, and we've got to underline food tolerances. All right, everyone, let's read it together, and then we'll go through our choices. Okay, let's do it. An allergy, let's read it, everyone. An allergy, according to immunologists, is the immune system overreacting to a benign substance that would to a substance that would ordinarily be considered benign. However, always watch out for this word, everyone. We know something important comes after this word. However, the term allergy is more loosely used by the general public. Okay, So we've got immunologists and the general public. People say they are allergic to a substance because it brings out some kind of adverse reaction in their bodies, some of which can be severe and may resemble true allergic reactions. But unless the immune system is directly involved, experts categorize this as intolerance. Now that's what our question is asking, intolerance. Constant sneezing, itchy eyes or throat, and inner ears, asthma, rashes, and diarrhea can all be signs of food allergies. Intolerance can bring on similar warning signs, as well as things such as headaches, bloating, and severe and general allergy. Over time, some allergy sufferers lose weight because there are so few foods they can eat. Of course, the social implications are huge too. Eating is a major social event. Okay, now we try to get our answers, everyone. Whoop, we'll go back one. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute, everyone. See if you can come up with the answer. I'll give you guys 1 minute. A, scientists continue to disagree about the root causes. The symptoms are indistinguishable from those of allergies. They can have an unpredictable impact on the person affected. The distinction between them and allergies is not widely appreciated. One of those is the answer. We're getting some Bs, a lot of Bs coming through. Getting a D, I've seen a D there. We're getting some Cs. So really wide range of answer choices, everyone. B, time's up. B's winning at this stage. Everyone's going for B. A couple of D's though. But B is the clear winner here with a few D's thrown in. Mainly B's and D's with the odd C. Okay. No one's gone for A, which is good because it's not A. All right. But I hate everyone went for B, but it's not B, everyone. Not B. You got trapped. It says the symptoms are indistinguishable from those of allergies. No. I thought I led you down the garden path a little bit. I showed you that word resemble, which doesn't mean the same. So it's the finer nuance of meaning, everyone. There's your trap. That's why you've got to be very careful in this exam. You've got to look at indistinguishable, and then you see words like resemble and similar. That indistinguishable means identical. Rule out B, everyone. A couple of people went for C. They have an unpredictable impact, but I think it's quite predictable. They tell you what the symptoms are. The asthma, the rashes, the diarrhea, the lethargy, the headaches, they're all mentioned, everyone. So the answer, everyone, it's D. The distinction between them and allergies is not widely appreciated. Well done, everyone, if you got this correct. Excellent work. And where do we find the answer? Well, here it says, however. Now remember, whenever you see the word however, you know something important is coming. You know that. So be alert for this word. And look, the term allergy is more loosely used by the general public. That means if you use a term loosely, you're using it for many different purposes. So the public use this term not only for true allergies, but also for intolerance. Answer was D. So all you people who went for B, a little bit more careful analysis required. This answer can be worked out with care. So take this as a lesson. Really be careful with your vocabulary. Okay, done. Next one, everyone. Next one. Okay, a little bit of vocabulary. I'm glad that was well explained for you, Paolo. Good. We're connecting. That's what we want. Okay, a little bit of vocabulary. An ideal recipe. What is an ideal recipe? We'll do all the words together. And what is a hypothesis? And what is a culprit? You can type in the answer to any of those words you like. 3 vocabulary items here. An ideal recipe. We're talking cooking here. A hypothesis. And a culprit. 3 words here, everyone. What do you think the phrase and the words mean? Yes, Aline has got it. The best thing. Yes, for the ideal recipe. Yes. And we've got a few more good ones coming in. Achim wants me to explain one more time. Just go, I have to watch the video now. We've moved on. All right. So yes, a perfect combination. Milk and cereal, fish and chips, salt and pepper, things that go well together. All right. Hypothesis, yeah, it's a bit like a guess, isn't it, Sally? But a guess based on reasoning. So yes, something you think rationally, but it needs testing. That's right. So it's an idea. Thesis, meaning the word coming from the word theory, right? An idea, but not yet proven. So yes, people said a guess. Yes, but it hasn't quite been determined, but it is a belief, but not proven. And a culprit, someone wrote that. It's like a problem, yes. Yeah, what's the problem or who caused the problem? We need someone to blame. Someone to blame, everyone. Okay, so that's our vocabulary, everyone. Yep, culprit, the offender. Yes, someone we're going to blame. Doesn't always, it may not be a person as well. It may be a theory or an idea. All right, here we go, everyone. Now, this is a vocabulary one, so we may not need to read the whole paragraph. So let's have a look here. What does the phrase, this rule in the 5th paragraph refer to? Now, we're not going to read it all. We're only going to, but my suggestion for this type of question, do the 3-sentence rule. Read the sentence before the word that's underlined, read the sentence with the underline, then read the sentence after. So 3-sentence rule to help you, because it's not asking you the definition. It's saying, what does the phrase this rule refer to? So this, there must be a rule. What is it referring to? Okay, let's try it. These questions can be quite tricky, everyone. There's our answer choices. I'll just read the beginning. Broadly speaking, Dr. Suter says the ideal recipe for a food allergy is to be born of allergic parents and then to have a high exposure to an allergenic food stuff. Okay, that's the ideal recipe, the perfect combination. But there are so many exceptions to this rule that other forces are clearly at work. And who's to say what high exposure is anyway? Okay. Have a think about it, everyone. I'll let you do this one. I won't give you any hints. It's tricky. Is it? Does this rule mean the likelihood of having an inherited allergy to certain foods? Is it the type of diet in which food allergies commonly occur? Is it degree of contact with allergens needed to trigger a reaction? Getting a lot of A's. Or is it the order of events most commonly found prior to allergic attacks? Now we've got a lot of things going on here. This is a bit, don't rush here. You've got to think, everyone. This is challenging. So this rule, so when we got the word this, everyone, one thing I can say we need to do, this rule, that means it's already been mentioned. So I'll give you one hint, everyone. The answer is already here. So it's already been mentioned in the first sentence. So the answer is in the first sentence, everyone. Now it says a food allergy is to be born of certain allergic parents. That's true, to be born of allergic parents. But now we've got to be very careful of this word, everyone, because that's part of it. Look a little deeper. And is a joining word. That means there's something else. There's two things going on here, everyone. So one, to be born of allergic parents, and then have a high exposure to an allergenic foodstuff. So there's two things. Remember, we said combination. To get this ideal recipe, there's two things going on. Now, C refers to two, the degree of contact. That's your exposure, right? One, A refers to one. All right. So if two are mentioned, maybe they can cancel each other out. Maybe they're both wrong. Now you've got to look at this word then. Then is important. So this is like saying, first, you must have allergic parents. Then, in addition, on top of that, you must have high exposure. Challenging one, everyone. It's not what you think. It's D. A lot of people got it well done. I think the deep thinkers got it. So if you went for A or C, you weren't cautious enough. Of course, it sounds like A, the likelihood of having an inherited allergy to certain food. That's possible, but it's incomplete, everyone. If you went for A, you rushed it a little. You rushed it. So this is how tricky these answer choices can get, everyone. That's how tricky they can become. So be careful, everyone. This is only, it says this rule, we've got to refer back, but that wasn't the complete rule. All right. It's tricky. The order of events, that's challenging. The order of it makes you think, engage with the question, everyone. The order, first, have allergic parents, then have a high exposure. You need that combination, that ideal recipe. So that's the challenge, everyone. You've got to be, and the then was a clue. When I did this one, everyone, the first time, the then was a clue for order of events particularly. Okay, tricky. Be very careful with vocabulary questions. Okay, now we've got a few more to do, everyone. So now we're going to do a different task, prenatal origins of heart disease. What does prenatal mean, everyone? I'm going to watch my time. I'm going to speed it up a little bit as we go, everyone, because we've got a few more questions to do. So I'll work with these definitions this time to make it a little bit quicker. Suboptimal conditions. So that means conditions which are not perfect. We're going to see this word. Yep. People are giving me the definitions of natal, yep, prenatal, during pregnancy. So that's what this article is going to be about. Things which occur during pregnancy. That's going to be our topic. Okay. And look at some of these medical words we've got. We've got placental insufficiency, a viable pregnancy. What sort of pregnancy is viable? Overwhelming evidence. All right, let's have a look at these. So a placental insufficiency, I'm sure you know this better than me, a dysfunction of the placenta, a reduction in the area to exchange nutrients, leading to fetal growth retardation. That's going to come up today. A viable pregnancy, if something is viable. Yes, Adrian, suboptimal, below average, good. Suboptimal means, viable means to make something possible. Yes, Symmetry said viable, able to live on its own after 28 weeks. Yes, so the pregnancy is viable. So in other words, the pregnancy can happen. It's viable. The baby will live. Overwhelming evidence. What kind of evidence is overwhelming? Well, it's strong evidence, more than anything else. It's the number one. It cannot be denied. It's proof. You can't argue against it. Okay, let's do it, everyone. This is a vocabulary question, everyone. This is a vocabulary one. When the writer uses the word cost in the paragraph, she is referring to, she's referring to something. We've got the word cost. So is she referring to overwhelming evidence? Is she referring to a placental insufficiency? Is she referring to a viable pregnancy? Or is she referring to reduced growth? Now, my advice here, everyone, I'll give you a little hint, like, I think it's a good idea to read, as I said, the 3-sentence rule. So here's sentence 1, here's sentence 2, here's sentence 3. So you don't have to read that first section and see if you can come up with the answer. I'll read it as well. Pregnancies that are uncomplicated by suboptimal conditions in the womb. Now be very careful, everyone, for this one. Such as happens during preeclampsia or placental insufficiency, enforce physiological adaptations in the unborn child and placenta. While these adaptations are necessary to maintain a viable pregnancy, there it is, and sustain life before birth, they come at a cost. The biological trade-off is reduced growth. It's one of the answers, which may in turn affect the development of key organs and systems such as the heart. Okay, I'll give everyone a hint, everyone. When you answer this one, I'm going to give you a key word to think about. I want you to think about this word, ah. Think about that. Think about your grammar. Ah. Hello to Jincy. Jincy asked me a question. Give clarification regarding your service. Sure, I'll talk a little bit about what OET Online does at the end for you, Jincy. Think of the word ah. Getting some C's, getting some D's. Got some A's. Now, got to think about it. A cost. All right, I'll help you with this one. Okay, so while these adaptations are necessary to maintain a viable pregnancy and sustain life before birth, they come at a cost. Do we know what the cost is yet? Well, actually, we don't know because it says a cost, but which cost? Not given. It doesn't say the cost. It says a cost. The first time that you mention anything, right? It comes at a cost. What's the cost? Well, the writer uses the word cost in the paragraph. She is referring to, what is she referring to? The biological trade-off is, so this is the trade-off, the cost. We go forward, everyone. Reduced growth. That's our answer, everyone. Reduced growth. Now the clue was could you get it? Comes at a cost, but the cost hasn't been mentioned yet. So we saw in the last question, we said, what this rule, that means this, it's already been mentioned. We refer back. But in this case, we say it comes at a cost, but we don't know what the cost is yet. So we must go forward. So use your grammar knowledge to help you with these types of questions. You can see a lot of people got it. Well done. We've got to go forward, everyone. So a viable pregnancy, that could be a cost, but this is saying the adaptations are necessary to maintain a viable pregnancy. So if we've had a placental insufficiency, the baby didn't get all of the nutrients, but still, so there was physiological adaptations to the child and placenta. There were changes. These adaptations are necessary for a viable pregnancy and to sustain life, but they come at a cost. What's the cost? Reduced growth. The baby lives, but there's reduced growth, and then it leads to issues with organ development. All right, so you really got to think, you got to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, everyone, to come up with that answer. But that's why. Someone says when something, that means it's coming later. When that means it's before. Now I'm not going to say 100% on your question there, but I'd say generally yes. Signifies it comes at a cost. What cost? Right? So I'm thinking it hasn't been mentioned yet. But when I said this rule, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to go back. And Diana says, can we think the cost is a trade-off? Absolutely, Dina. The cost is the trade-off. You're trading life, at least you live. The trade-off is reduced growth. Okay. All right, so you really got to dig deep, everyone, to get the meaning there. Okay, let's keep going, everyone. I'm going to skip my vocabulary questions now. We're going to go straight to it, everyone. And watch my time here. So now we've got to clear this. Okay, so this one says, what assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study? What assumption? So key word, everyone, for this one. What assumption was proved wrong? So think about the word assumption. What assumption was proved wrong? Okay, let's read it, everyone. This is complicated. We'll do our 1 minute rule. We didn't do any vocabulary building, so we're doing it raw. What Goscinny, so Goscinny's a researcher. What Goscinny found was that the high altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low altitude babies, even in cases of high maternal nutritional status. Babies born to low-income mothers at sea level also showed a reduction in birth weight. So we've got a lot of facts, everyone. Maybe take notes. But the effect of undernutrition was not as pronounced as the effect of high altitude on birth weight. Clearly, fetal oxygenation was a more important determinant of fetal growth within these communities. Okay, so we're talking about within these low altitude and high altitude communities. Remarkably, although one might, oh, there's a key word, everyone, assume. There it is. We found it. Although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high. Okay. It turns out the difference lies in ancestry. All right. Try your luck, everyone, although hopefully it won't be luck. Now, remember, I'll give you a hint, everyone. We found that word assumption. So when we have a situation like that, my hint to you all is pay attention to this. Good luck. 1 minute. Donna says, could you give more sessions on part C? We're doing it live now, Donna. Answers coming through. Some A's and B's coming through. Lots of A's, everyone. Well done. Okay, there we go. People did great. Couple of B's and a few different ones, but most people went for A's. I think that's a good decision, everyone. Let's check it out. So which assumption was proved wrong? Well, this B wasn't proved wrong. A baby born at high altitude will typically weigh less than one born at sea level. That said, Gusini found that. It's true. Levels of oxygen have a greater impact on birth weight than nutritional status does. And it says fetal oxygenation was a more important determinant of fetal growth. There you go. So oxygen is more than nutrition. So that wasn't proved wrong. And C, D is not given. They didn't talk about the predisposition to heart disease. Answer A, rule in. This was proven to be incorrect. Actually, as Sally says, actually they are heavier. And we've got the complex sentence. Although one might assume that babies are born to mothers of lower socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction. That's what we think, because they're low socioeconomic status, therefore poor nutrition. That's what we might assume. And they're at high altitude. Everything's going against them. But it said these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. So why did low-income mothers at high altitude give birth to heavier babies? That's what we have to find out. And we'll find it out in the last question today, everyone. And very fast vocabulary, everyone. Has anyone, geography question, has anyone heard of La Paz? La Paz. Has anyone heard of La Paz? It's a geography question. Where is it? Not that you get tested on geography in this exam, but always a bit of interest. A geography question. Anyone know? And other phrases, a couple of millennia, relative newcomers. Bolivia, thank you, AMS. There we go. La Paz, it's that high altitude. That's what this article is about. You'll read it on the OET Center site. It's the mountaintop city in Bolivia. Now you know. South America, Ernesto, you will know that by the sound of your Spanish name. All right. A couple of millennia means a millennia is a period of 1,000 years, and relative newcomers, I'll explain that. The word relative here, newcomer, a new person to town, a relative newcomer, it depends on what you compare with. For example, 40 is young when compared to someone who's 60, right? But someone who's 40 would be relatively old when compared to people who are 20. So we've got to watch out for that word relative newcomers. It's a comparative statement relative to something else. All right, so it varies depending on the comparison. All right, here we go. What is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? Now, this is the last one, everyone. So we'll bring up the answer choices. I'll give you time. I'll give you 90 seconds, everyone. Imagine on exam day, you don't have much time. The clock is ticking. You've got to answer quickly. Maybe we read the question first for something different. What is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? What is suggested about them? The altitude affects all socio-economic groups in a, there's that word, in a similar way. Is that suggested? There's a high degree of ethnic diversity in all levels of society. Most residents have a shared ancestry going back 2,000 years, or poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with high incomes. Think about that. You know, Bolivia in South America, everyone. South America. Bolivia is South America. Okay, people are going for B. We're also getting some Ds. Good, well done if you could answer this quickly. Those people who went for B, I have a problem with the word all levels of society. No, it doesn't say that. The higher economic status has a admixture, a variety. So it's not, there's not a high degree. It doesn't say that in all. Be careful of whenever you get a word like all, everyone. That's a bit of a danger word. I'd be careful of that word. George says it's definitely C. Most residents have a shared, be careful of this word. Most residents have a shared ancestry, but no, because it says the Europeans and North Americans are newcomers to high altitude. So that doesn't go back thousands of years. So it's not C, everyone. Some people have gone for A. altitude affects socioeconomic in a similar way. Well, perhaps it doesn't, everyone. Perhaps it doesn't. It's not similar. And it's not B, and it's not C, it's D, everyone. Poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with higher income. I think you can work this one out, everyone. A lot of people went for D. Congratulations if you got it. If you didn't get it, slow down a little. Slow down. Later, when you have it in front of you, you'll have that advantage of pen and paper and you'll be able to concentrate. So life's a bit challenging. The lowest socioeconomic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians. That means there isn't a high degree of ethnic diversity in their society. There isn't. So that rules out B. An ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. So these Aymara Indians have a genetic advantage, everyone. And it goes on, it seems therefore that an ancestry, so seems is like suggest, everyone. It's not proven. It seems. See that difference? Okay. It seems that an ancestry linked to prolonged high altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. They can deal with it. All right. Answer D. But no one talks about genetics. Well, they said ancestry linked confers protection. So that protection is a genetic advantage. That's what gives it to them. All right. Well, look, wow, the hour's gone by. Gee, that went quick, didn't it, everyone? That time went really quick. I'm getting a few questions coming through, so I'll try to answer those now. So a few questions have just come through, which I will try to get those. Angelito says, I got results C in my reading. It's hard to stay focused. Yeah, I mean, but it's 1 hour, Angelita. So 1 hour, you must stay focused. So you've just got to build that training up and not be distracted. That's practice. The more you do it, the better you get. Flavia says one question needs to be answered in a minute. No, 2 minutes and 15 seconds for part C, approximately. You got 45 minutes for part B and part C. Sally says, please explain what you mean by high maternal nutritional status. Oh, we'll have to look that one up afterward. That's a good question for the doctors. Any doctors want to answer that one? But I think it's the good nutrition that the mother has. Hello to Daban. Thank you for that comment. Simtree says, can you do more class on tricky questions? If you want more classes, everyone, then come to OET Online. We do classes like this every week. Join one of our courses, Simtree, and you will get that. And a couple of people asked about that. So look, everyone, you can check us out at OET Online. We've got classes that suit all time zones. And look at those great courses. I'll leave that up. Really good prices. at the moment, especially while the Aussie dollar is strong. We're in Aussie dollars, everyone. So good value courses, lots of material there. So that's where, if you want more classes, come along here. But I will be back, everyone. Everyone, I'm going to be here every 2 weeks. We're going to be running a series of these classes. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be doing listening part C, and then we're going to go through a whole lot of reading and listening every 2 weeks, everyone. But the next one will be listening part C in 2 weeks' time. Keep an eye out on YouTube and Facebook for that. But if you're having difficulty with part C, really do get involved. Check, yeah, I would suggest come to the website, everyone. If you can invest in your education, it will be worth it. But these videos will be placed, everyone. It will be available, Dr. Nizam, after the session. Florence says, how do you address a question that says, what point does the writer make? Well, what point? So it's main idea. Little hint there, Florence. Look for words like however or but. When you see a word like however or but, quite often the main idea or the point comes after those words. So that's a little tip for you. Now, if someone wants if you want to contact us, someone asked for an email address. I'll just put that in one of the chats, oetonline.net.au. And last thing to say, everyone, if you want to check out our course options, just visit the website, everyone. I'll just put it in the chat so you can see it, everyone. Yeah, and I'll just bring up my one last screen, everyone, just so you know. If you want to know who we are, everyone, this is us, OET Online. You can always find our website here. And a lot of people are talking about reading. Got some great reading options, everyone. Which you can see here. Check out these reading options here. So you can have live classes every week. We've got a reading class every week. And we just, every week for an hour and a half on Tuesdays, we cover reading lectures, everything. So imagine if you studied with us for 2 months, you'd get 8 classes plus all your practice material just for 125 Australian. So if you really want to work on it, come along to these classes. Small investment for great value, everyone. Angelita, sorry if you got 3:30, very close. Little bit extra work, you can make it. Iman says, how can you book a course with me? I hope I can help you master this exam, Iman. That link I sent, Iman, visit our website and enroll. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming along today. It was a great crowd. Hope this helped you. Stay safe during COVID-19. I will be back in a couple of weeks' time, so just keep your eye on the schedule. Bubba says, can I register for reading only? Absolutely. On that page you can see. And we do have, if you want to know what it's like, everyone, you can always check out and do a free trial course as well. So you have that option, everyone. Work hard and you'll make it. All right. All the best. Any questions? Contact us. Send an email, info@oetonline.net.au. We'll be happy to help. Bye for now. See you next time. Excellent, Sally. Excellent, everyone. Bye for now.